One question that I get a lot from traders and clients is what do I do with those trades that are not high quality, meaning they are not A plus setups, but they still give me somewhat of an edge? So they might be scalps, they might be B trades, but they are not that set of confluences that really leaves me confident and that makes for my A plus setup. They ask themselves, do I skip them? Do I keep trade them with lower size? What do I do? So in this video, I want to end your doubts for once. Let's scrutinize this topic. In trading and in your strategy, you have two types of setups: valid and not valid. So there's pretty much not much in between. We have the set of confluences that tell you that you can enter the market. It's exactly that. And the more doubt you have in distinguishing between what's valid and what's not, the more you will overthink and the more mistakes you will make. So having very clear and well defined what is your setup, what is it that you're looking for, when do you want to enter, and what is your entry trigger, it's halfway to ease the decision making in the entry process. Now, sometimes things are not as straightforward as valid or invalid. Inside the valid group, you have sometimes A plus setups, and then you have other types of setups. And this you distinguish with time. The more experience you have with your strategy, the more you come to realize that there are a particular setup, a particular set of confluences that leaves you more confident to take that setup, to pull the trigger. And then you realize that that is your A plus setup. Much with your database, your backtesting, you come to this realization. And so the question is not about the A plus setups. Those you are confident to take. The question is, what do you do when you see that other setup, that perhaps a B quality setup? So the first thing I recommend you to end at least with some of this doubt is to backtest, to isolate some of your, let's say, 50 A plus setups, and then also isolate 50 of your other setups, and more if you want. The more samples, the better. Now, what you want to do with this is really kind of consolidate your confidence, your knowledge, and get more information about these two types of setups, because it's on this confidence and on this knowledge that you will be more sure and more secure in your decision making. So the first step is really understanding if your A plus setup gives you a better of an edge that B quality setup, or are you just assuming that as such without enough proof? After having this market study, let's call it that way, done, then you want to compare your A plus setups results with your B setups. And you want to understand if they really give you an edge or not. And let's say that you conclude that your A plus setups, they are really A plus. So there's a better winning rate or a better risk to reward, a better expectancy overall compared with the other setups. Now you're left with the question, okay, so what do I do with the B setups? They do give me an edge still, but is this something that I want to take? Do I want to spend time or, increase my effort in also taking these setups, or do I want to keep myself just trading the A plus? And here are, I would say, 4 factors to take into consideration. The first one is your tolerance for variance. Also, the frequency those setups appear, your trading goals, and market conditions. So imagine you realize that your A plus setups are not happening in the same market conditions than your other setups. For instance, your A plus setups happen on high volatility and your B setups in a more maybe consolidating market or more calm market. Then you can choose to switch gears every time the market conditions are in one mood. You search for your A plus setups, and when they revert, then you search for your B setups, and there's nothing wrong with this. Now, it also depends on your trading goals, right? Imagine that you want to reduce the screen time, or you want to optimize the amount of effort you're putting or the time you're spending on the charts in relationship to the profits you're having. And so if this is your goal, perhaps you want to reduce your trades trade choice only to the A plus setups, to the ones that are really worth it, and skip the B setups altogether. Or imagine even that you go for both the A and B setups, but you notice that you have difficulty switching gears. Say you end up confusing your A setups with your B setups, or your power of decision making is not that fast. So while you are looking for A plus setups, you miss B setups, or when you're looking for B setups, you find yourself missing an A plus setup, which you don't really want. This is an indication that perhaps it's best to stick to one set of setups. Now, as you realize, it all depends on these 4 factors. Both setups might give you an edge, but it's not only dependent on what gives you an edge and what not, it also has to do with your trading goals, with what you want to do of your trading sessions, right? So about these, I really recommend you backtesting these, or with the setups that you already have in your trading journal, just do this exercise, split them, isolate them, and go through all the screenshots for the A plus setups, take your conclusions. You would be surprised the amount of insights that you will take, because it's just like you're watching a movie for the second time. You get different details, so different information, different interpretations from the first time you analyzed your trades. And then do the same for the other setups. And then see if that gives you more information about what you should do. And then contrast this information with these 4 variables, and you will find your way to if you should trade your B setups or if not. Now, as I was saying, what's also very important to point down is your A plus setups, they are kind of like the holy grail, like you want to preserve them, and you want to be at your best mentally and technically to when they show up, right? To perform them at your best. So you don't want your B setups to be interfering with your performance of the A plus setups. So if you notice that by having these 2 types of setups, you are kind of switched, you don't know which one to go for, or your performance is poorer when you have these 2 setups, then you want to trim down and you want to select and prioritize the A plus setups. So I hope this video helped you at least to make smarter choices in your trading. Peaceful trading, Sara. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about trading psychology, how to self-manage, and becoming a better emotional manager in your trading, then I'd suggest you to go for the paid subscription of The High Performing Trader. It's a written newsletter on Substack, and I will leave the link below.